Kayla, and today is a very exciting video. For one, I am celebrating my 1 year YouTube anniversary. Yay! So it has been 1 year since I posted my first video, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching, who has subscribed to my channel, and who has been supporting me and my channel. I really appreciate all of you, and I look forward to another year here on YouTube. Another reason why this video is exciting is because I'm doing my first collaboration video with my friend Juan from the channel JC5 Productions. He is a fellow legally blind YouTuber. He makes videos on his channel about being visually impaired, and he is also a legally blind filmmaker, which is really cool, and so you can find short films on his channel as well. So be sure to check out his channel, and we also did a collab over there on his channel, so make sure to check out that video. I will link his channel and our video that we did together over there, both in the description box below. So since we are both legally blind YouTubers, we kind of wanted to share our perspective about how doing YouTube has changed our lives. So first, I'm going to share my perspective about how doing YouTube has changed my life, and then Juan's going to come in and tell you about how doing YouTube has changed his life. So make sure you stick around and hear what he has to say. So even though it kind of sounds super cheesy, doing YouTube really has changed my life. The biggest way is that it's just given me the confidence to open up and talk about my vision impairment and just generally be confident about it and not embarrassed. I used to hide my vision impairment at all costs. I never talked about it. I never wanted anyone to know. I was very embarrassed. I even made a video about all of that a while ago called Why I Stopped Hiding My Vision Impairment. I will link that in the description box below. And it's only been since about a year ago when I started my channel that I started opening up and talking about it, not only here on YouTube, but also in my personal life as well. And it has really made a world of difference for me, just not being embarrassed about it and being able to be confident about it and just talk about it and really just talk about it casually. So before, when I would tell people that I was visually impaired because I had to, because they needed to know, or because I needed help with something, I would say it in a way that it was very obvious that I was embarrassed about it. And I would also say it like it was a very serious thing. And I really think that people feed off of how you present it. So since I presented it to people as something I was embarrassed of and something that was really serious, those people took it that it was something negative because that's how I presented it. But now, since I'm confident, I'm able to mention to people, just casually say, oh, hey, actually, I'm legally blind, I can't see, can you help me? And their reaction is, oh, okay, sure. And since I presented it as not a big deal, then they don't think that it's a big deal. And I don't mean it's not a big deal as in, obviously we do have extra challenges, but it's not as tragic as everyone thinks it is. So that's really been a big deal to me, just to be able to mention it casually and have it not be a big deal, because before I was open about it, every time I went somewhere or did anything, I was always so worried, and I would be thinking in my head, like, what if it's dark and I can't see? What if someone tries to shake my hand and I don't see it? What if something's in the middle of the floor and I trip over it? What will I say to cover it up? What if I have to fill out a form and I can't read it and I have to ask someone to read it for me? And just all of these things, just what ifs all the time. I was always so worried about it. And now I don't have to be worried because I know that I can just tell someone, hey, I can't see, can you help me? And that has been literally the biggest relief, to not have that embarrassment just weighing down on my shoulders all the time. And another thing is now I'm able to joke about it, which is something new for me. And I like it because I like to joke around, and, being blind gives you some pretty good material. And I think it's really helped me to feel comfortable joking about it, just to lighten things up and be able to laugh about it. And I think it's helped other people too, when I make jokes around other people, that they can laugh about it. And I just think it's kind of funny because, a year and a half ago, I don't think I had ever made a blind joke about myself. And now I make them all the time. So another thing about making YouTube videos is I feel like the more videos I make, the more comfortable I am just talking about different aspects of blindness and disability and being able to explain things. Because before, when people would ask me a question, or if I, really needed to explain something to someone, I didn't even know how to explain anything because I wasn't used to talking about it. I had no practice. But now that I've made so many videos, it's like I've had practice talking about a lot of different things, and so it's so much easier for me to talk about it with other people and so much easier for me to explain it because now I'm used to talking about it. So I don't know if I'm even doing a really good job of explaining just how much doing YouTube has changed my life. I feel like I've done a complete 180 to where I just flipped from being embarrassed to being confident, and I just feel like I'm in such a good place with it now. And I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling because I don't even know how to explain it. So I'll give like 2 quick examples. So I started graduate school in the fall, and on the first day of class, we were all going around the room introducing ourselves and telling a little bit about ourselves. And in my introduction, I said that I was legally blind, which is something I have never done before. I have never introduced myself and just offered up that information that I was legally blind, ever. And I'm really glad that I did, because I feel like I went ahead and just put it out there and put it on the table to say, you know what, I'm blind, and it doesn't have to be the elephant in the room. It's okay to talk about it. And I feel like it's made my professors and my classmates more comfortable with me and just, asking me if I need help, or asking me, how do you read your textbooks, or how do you proofread your papers? And, I'm comfortable answering those questions. And it's the first time I've ever been in an environment with people that it felt like it was okay. And another example is on the first day of class. This semester we had a new professor, and she asked me in front of the class if I could see the projector. And I was like, no, I can't really see it at all, but, I do fine just listening and following along. And, it wasn't a big deal. But then I thought back that if that had happened to me in undergrad, like between 4 and 8 years ago, and a professor asked me if I could see something in front of the whole class, I would have literally wanted to crawl under my desk and die, because I would have been so embarrassed that attention was called to my vision impairment in front of a group of people. And I probably would have said yes, that I could see the projector, because I never wanted to admit that I couldn't see anything. I always pretended that I could just see everything. So the fact that now not only was I not embarrassed that she asked me, but I was also not embarrassed to say, no, I can't see it. So it's times like those that just remind me how far I've come and how grateful I am to be in the place that I am with it now. And as much as I love making videos to help other people, I really think that making these videos has helped me more than anyone else. I know, it sounds super cheesy again, but it's true. And I also need to mention another big way that doing YouTube has changed my life, which is giving me the ability to connect with other blind and visually impaired people. So I'm the only blind person in my family. I grew up going to public school. I was the only blind person there. I had never known another blind or visually impaired person, so I had nobody to relate to until I found blind YouTubers. So before I started my channel, I started out watching Molly Burke, Joy Ross, and How Casey Sees It are the 3 main channels that I started out watching. And it was the first time that I ever listened to another person and said, oh my gosh, I do the same thing, or oh my gosh, I feel the same way. And that was something that I had never felt before. I'd never been able to relate to another person like that. And I think that is another really big reason of how I've been able to kind of shed that embarrassment and be confident, is because for the first time, I'm seeing other people who have the same experiences as me. And so I really love this blind and visually impaired community here on YouTube. There are a ton of us on here, and it's just really great to be able to relate to other people, and we help each other by offering, tips and advice. And, I love connecting with other people in the comment sections of their videos and my videos. And I've just really been able to connect with a lot of people and have that sense of community that I had never had before. Which brings me to a fellow legally blind YouTuber that I have been able to connect with through YouTube and kind of become internet friends with, Juan from JC5 Productions. He is a really great guy, and I've really enjoyed getting to know him, and he's very involved with the blind and visually impaired community here on YouTube. I always see him commenting on everyone else's videos and being very supportive, so he's great. And now he's going to share his perspective and tell you about how doing YouTube has changed his life.
Hey everybody, what is going on? My name is Juan, my channel name is JC5 Productions, and if you're wondering, the type of videos I upload are narrative content like short films, but I also make stuff like sit-down videos like this, and on both occasions I try to talk about either stories, stuff that revolves around storytelling, or stuff that revolves around disability and blindness. So if that stuff sounds like it interests you, then hey, by all means, go check out my channel, and I'm gonna stop promoting myself now. I want to thank Kayla for having me do this collab on her channel. So now I'm going to tell you guys how much YouTube has impacted me as a visually impaired person. So I've been on YouTube for, oh man, almost 10 years. Yeah, it's been a while. I started off mainly the same way, making comedy sketches, short films, vlogs, well, more sit-down videos. But there was one big difference from me back then compared to me now. And that was the fact that I hid my disability. I hid the fact that I was legally blind. Well, that I am legally blind. And the biggest reason for that was I was afraid that if I said I was legally blind, it was going to take the spotlight away from my creative work. People were just going to see me as the blind filmmaker, and that's it. I really didn't want to be treated differently because I said I was legally blind. But little did I know that that perceived weakness was going to be my biggest strength. A few years ago, I ran into the first ever video from a visually impaired YouTuber, and some of you guys may know her, How Casey Sees It. It was a video of her talking about how she uses her white cane, just her white cane in general, and then I started watching more videos from her, but then I ran into other blind YouTubers like Molly Burke, Tommy Edison, James Rath, folks like that. And not only that, but I started realizing that, hey, there's other disabled YouTubers on here like Ricky Pointer, Annie Elaney, and I was just like, okay, hold on, wait a second. Maybe it's not safe, but maybe I shouldn't be so insecure about talking about my disability. And to be honest, James Rath was a big contributor. Actually, they all were big contributors, but the fact that James Rath is also a legally blind filmmaker like myself, it really helped me out in the long run because I saw him talking about visual impairment and, just about making movies here and there as well. And that's when I was like, now that you're seeing all these other YouTubers talking about all this, don't be afraid anymore. Just say it. So a little while after is when I made my first video, finally saying that, hey, I'm legally blind, even though I'd mentioned, my bad vision here and there a few times in the past, but this was the first time I flat out said openly, hey, I'm legally blind, And this is my story. If you're curious about the video, it's called Accepting My Blindness, so if you want to go check that out, by all means do. A few months after I started posting about my own disability, that is when I ran into Kayla's channel, into Kayla's videos. She was just starting off, and I started commenting on some of her videos, and well, it eventually led to us just chit-chatting here and there, and now hey, we are doing this collab, so awesome job, me and Kayla. That sounds weird. And the blind and visually impaired community on YouTube is awesome because, I mean, yes, we have our superstars like Molly Burke, but for the most part, it's pretty tight-knit. A lot of us are able to just, exchange ideas and just talk about things. And I think that's great. And I think because of that being close-knit, I think it's really just helped everybody be able to talk about just their own stories, their own things in general. I can say I'm a visually impaired filmmaker, I'm a legally blind filmmaker, and I'm proud of it. And it doesn't feel like it's taking away the spotlight from my creative work at all. And another thing that saying this does, it really helps incorporate what the message I want to put across on my channel is. And that message is, despite your limitations, whether they're physical limitations, whether they're mental or psychological limitations, they shouldn't keep you from telling your story to an audience. And I'm hoping that by showing that I'm not letting my visual limitation impair me from telling my stories, that I'm able to put that message across. So if there's anyone who is out there who is blind or visually impaired who wants to tell their stories on YouTube or anywhere else, I'm hoping that seeing channels like Casey's, Kayla's, Molly's, even my own, it's like, I'm hoping we're able to motivate you to just get your material out there and just share your story with everyone. Sure, all of us do talk about blind or visual impairment, some more than others, but we all have different channels. I mean, Kayla and myself, we both have retinitis pigmentosa, but we talk about things in a different way. She does more sit-down videos. I do more cinematic style videos, but still, I mean, and you don't even have to talk about visual impairment. You can, if you want to vlog, you can vlog. If you want to do makeup videos, if you want to do gaming videos, then hey, I mean, just because you're visually impaired doesn't mean you have to talk about visual impairment on your channel. I really want to thank the blind and visually impaired community on YouTube, because if it wasn't for you guys, then I would have felt a little lost, still trying to find a niche, trying to find an audience, but thank you guys, because it really does feel like, as cheesy as it sounds, it may sound, yeah, it feels like I'm home now. And I really want to thank all the blind and visually impaired YouTubers who I ran into and who I will continue to run into, because you guys have all contributed to just my content for the past couple of years now. And this collab with Kayla is just another way of saying that, hey, this is how much this community has impacted me. So thank you so much to you guys. Thank you so much to Kayla for having me just do this video with her. And I'm going to send this video back to her now. So back to you, Kayla.
Okay, thank you so much, Juan, again for coming on my channel and sharing your perspective. As you can all see, YouTube has had a very positive impact on both of us. And that's our video, so don't forget to check out Juan's channel and check out the video we did over there. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe over here. And I will see you guys next time.